Joan Crawford is remembered as one of Hollywood's most iconic actresses, known for her powerful performances and commanding screen presence. But behind the glamour and fame, not everyone who met her felt entirely comfortable. Actress Mia Farrow recently reflected on her encounter with Crawford and revealed that the experience left her feeling uneasy. In an interview, Farrow shared details about the first and only time she met Joan Crawford. According to Farrow, the meeting took place when she was still very young and just starting her acting career. She recalled that Crawford had an intimidating energy that she couldn't quite explain. "I got a strange vibe from her," Farrow said. "She was very intense, very controlled. It was kind of scary." Farrow didn't go into too many details, but it was clear that the encounter had stuck with her for decades. She described Crawford as impeccably dressed and perfectly composed, but also said there was something about her presence that made her feel nervous. "She didn't say anything particularly mean," Farrow added. "It was just the way she looked at you. It felt like she could see right through you, and that was unsettling." Crawford was known for being strict and particular, both in her professional and personal life. Stories of her stern attitude and strong opinions have been shared by many who worked with her or knew her socially. While some admired her professionalism, others found her intimidating or difficult to approach. Farrow's memory aligns with what has often been said about Crawford over the years. Her daughter, Christina Crawford, famously wrote the memoir Mommy Dearest, which painted a disturbing picture of Joan as a harsh and abusive parent. That book, and the film it inspired, contributed heavily to the public's perception of Crawford as a complicated and sometimes frightening figure. Though Farrow didn't mention anything extreme or abusive, her experience still echoed a common theme. Joan Crawford could make people uncomfortable without saying a word. It wasn't about what she did. It was about the energy she carried and the way she presented herself. Farrow, who later went on to have an accomplished career of her own, admitted that the meeting made her feel out of place. "I didn't know what to say. I just remember wanting the conversation to end," she said. "It wasn't that she was rude. She was just very cold." The story offers a small but meaningful glimpse into the lasting impression Crawford had on those who met her, even in brief encounters. It also shows how reputation and presence can shape the way someone is remembered. Crawford's ability to command a room was undeniable. But not everyone felt welcomed by that power. Fans of classic Hollywood have always been divided on Crawford's legacy. While she remains a symbol of strength, success, and glamour, tales like Farrow's highlight another side, one that was perhaps less friendly and more intimidating. It's not uncommon for stars of Crawford's era to be remembered in complex ways. The pressure to maintain a certain image, the high expectations of studio contracts, and the competitive nature of the industry all played a role in how stars like Crawford behaved in public and private. Farrow's story is just one piece of a much larger puzzle when it comes to understanding who Joan Crawford really was. Still, the fact that one short meeting left such a strong impression says something. Whether it was Crawford's eyes, her voice, or her stillness, Farrow walked away feeling deeply unsettled. This recent recollection has sparked more discussion among fans and historians about the way famous figures are perceived and remembered. Some believe Crawford was simply a product of her time, strong, ambitious, and perhaps misunderstood. Others argue that her coldness was real and that the stories about her were not exaggerated. Whatever the truth, Mia Farrow's comments offer a personal and honest reflection. One actress meeting another, separated by a generation but connected by the strange, intense energy of a brief interaction. For Farrow, it wasn't an encounter filled with drama or confrontation, but it was still unforgettable. Even decades later, the memory remains fresh. Joan Crawford may no longer be around, but the impact she had on those who crossed her path continues to be felt and discussed today.